So this is the update on my 10-gallon shrimp tank that also houses like 1,000,000 snail babies in here. And I just want to talk a little bit about it and my past experience real quick about what I've tried with cherry red shrimp. Well, haven't had much luck in the past. I've used just plain old gravel, something you would get at Walmart. In fact, it was like rainbow gravel, if I can remember correctly. And in that tank, I had guppies, some swordtails, and mind you, this was a 5-gallon fish tank. And I had several red cherry shrimp. Of course, they all died within, I want to say, a week or so. And now I've learned to kind of just give them their own tank and see what happens. I did have an idea of adding Otis to this tank. The problem is because it's only a 10-gallon tank, and Otis, they're not really stationary fish, especially at night. During the day, it's hard to catch them, especially if you don't have them in groups of 5 or more. They tend to be a little bit more shy. In this tank, there's plenty of cover, but I also keep the lights on a lot in here for long periods of time, about 24 hours. Even though it's not the bright light, it is the blue light. And fish are not supposed to be able to see blue light, but I don't know, when I've added Aquaneat to the 29-gallon tank where I have 5 autosinkless, they didn't really like it. They weren't very active at all, so I think I'm gonna go hold off on that idea, see what happens, because I am getting a purling wall of algae. Check this out. It's all algae. It's not showing up that well to me on camera, but you get the idea. And it made me think, well, if the snails and the shrimp aren't eating it, maybe Otis will eat it. But at the same time, baby shrimp benefit from algae. I want to say more than the adults do. The adults go for vegetables and they need protein. But I don't know. There's literally millions of baby snails in this tank. Millions of them. They're all over the water wisteria. Anytime you see like a little dot, let me see if I can find one. Right here. You see that little dot right there? That's a baby snail. That's a baby snail. That's a cluster about to hatch. There's another baby snail. Oh, here's another one. Is it? Yep, that's another baby snail. And these are ram's horn snails. To me, they don't really eat algae like a mystery snail would, or maybe even a nearite snail. To me, they rather eat stuff that is like decaying leaf matter. For example, if there's a leaf on the wisteria that is dying back, they will swarm that leaf and chew on it. When I add fresh vegetables, I put them in this little dish, they swarm at it. But as far as the algae, I don't think they're eating it. Just my opinion. I just don't see them eating it. Now, I was bummed out about this tank for a while because I thought after I lost Mama Shrimp with all her babies, well, she had eggs, not babies, but I was certain that I wasn't going to have any more spawning in here because I hadn't seen any activity. I hadn't seen any more females carrying, and mind you, I do have a lot of hiding spots in here. So I'm not seeing all of my shrimp. They are very active, but I'm not seeing all of my shrimp. But then I looked at the tank really closely. And I noticed, let's see if I can find it. I know it's on this leaf. Right there. Really hard to see him. But if you look right above my fingernail, that is a baby shrimp. A really tiny, itty bitty, cute little baby shrimp. It's freaking adorable, man. Freaking adorable. And that's not the only one. I found about 2 other ones. They're very stationary. They're not like the adults. The adults move around a lot. But I can't find them right now. I know one was like somewhere back here. And then the other one was under the sponge filter. It'll be impossible for you guys to see that one, but because my sponge filter is actually not completely anchored, it's lifted a little bit. You see how it's like that? Yeah. So I was very discouraged with this tank to begin with. Once it got that slime on it, and it was just, I don't know. I had so much algae. I still have a lot of algae. Mind you, I don't scrape any of that algae off because it's supposed to be good for the shrimp, but in my opinion, they're not even looking at it. They graze on it, but they mostly like to do this right here. You see? Those are tetragranules. Well, she's just eating them. That's what they like to do. They don't like to mess with that algae. And I don't feed them every day. I feed them about every other day. I add a vegetable. And the day after the vegetable, that's when I add in the little zucchini wafers, which have 30% protein in them. And then the days after that is usually just I let them graze wherever. But I'm still enjoying this tank now that I've cleaned off the snail slime. But I do need to start working on getting rid of some bigger snails out of here again. So I did want to touch real quick on the snails. I just added some wafers in there for them to eat. There's over, I want to say, 50 snails in here. There's also, if you look at the back wall, no, this is horrible quality, but the back wall has plenty of egg clusters there. Right now, business in the snail selling industry is very slow for me. I sold a couple clutches, not bad, and right now nobody is buying. So I'm kind of overrun with some snails right now. I don't know if I should just sell them all, because once this cluster right here hatches, this 3-gallon tote will not be able to support that many snails. And on top of that, I have to start picking the snails out of here, and also the 29-gallon tank. I'm just trying to keep the population as low as possible so I don't end up with a slimy tank. The shrimp do eat the slime off of the wisteria and off of the wall of the tank. It's just that it gets so bad to the point that it looks nasty. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and watching and listening to me ramble. I don't know my plans in the future for this tank other than just getting rid of the snail population. Well, not completely eliminating it, but just dialing it back so it doesn't get out of control in here. So I'll see you guys on the next update. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Check out all these snails and all these clusters. There's a lot of snails in there.